Hey guys, Magus here, and back in the day, one of the most requested topics I got for Magus Rants was, of course, Christian, who hence you see his silly fucking ugly mug on my channel, unfortunately, at this point. But regardless of that, well, guys, I decided to make a Christian video. Now, this is not, there's tons of Christian video. This is just my opinions because I think I might have I don't know if unique take. I don't want to be so narcissistic to think, oh, my take is the best. But I have a take on it, and I just want to share it with you guys. And with recent events, honestly, I wanted to do this video. So this is a Magus Rants Christian opinion type of thing. So there you go. What I really want to do is talk about my thoughts on it because I never really went down this rabbit hole in the first place anyhow. And the reason I did not make a rant on it was because so many people had done shit on it and back in the day, and I was like, didn't do it. And also, if I had done a rant, at the point, I was so full of myself, I'll be quite honest with you guys, that I thought maybe, I could affect this situation in some way, which in reality, I would not have done shit. So, how does it go? Well, it goes like this. The reason I'm making it because I just want to express my opinion on it. I've said that before. Let's move on. So, anyhow, back in 2019, I went down the rabbit hole by watching Samuel Gino. I think that's the dude's name, his Christian. I haven't watched all the episodes because it's pretty, yeah. If you know the whole Christian lore, there's a whole lore behind it. I mean, there's sagas and all this bullshit around him, his enemies, the Sonichu shit, all of that crap, okay? But watching all of it and then seeing what happened and then watching a little bit more of Samuel Gino, and props to that motherfucker because you gotta have strong fortitude to do hour-long documentaries. 16 parts, 60 parts it is, or 59 as of this recording, as of August 12th, 2021, that this guy has done on Christian. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, even watching it, dear Lord. But here's the thing, and this is what I mostly want to talk about. I want to talk about it in a general context because to me, it is a tragic black comedy in a sense. It is a real-life tragic black comedy. Most people like, he's a lolcow, blah, blah, blah. It's sad, but it's funny because of his stupid antics. But it's sad because of the reality behind what happened. And let's look at this. A lot of people say, it's all Christian's fault. All people say it is. It's everybody's fault involved, including people like my dumb ass who watch this shit. So, I mean, let's exclude that for a second. Let's talk about the direct people involved. The trolls, the parents, and Christian. Now, we know that there's his parents, Barb and Bob, and then there's all the other players, the game store, the fucking whatever, all those people. In some ways, a lot of the people involved, it's their fault, okay? And I'm mainly going to point this on the parents, Christian, and the trolls, okay? The parents are to blame because they should have noticed that their son is more than autistic. He's mentally fucking ill. There's no doubt about that. Christian is mentally fucking ill, okay? And even at that, that's what his lawyer is arguing. We'll talk about the current situation in a second. But he is mentally ill. It's very clear he's been mentally ill for a long fucking time. And now we're at what I believe is the climax of the Christian tale. And sadly, that's where we're at. We're at the climax of it because he has done something so egregious, so disgusting and sickening that he's not going to get out of it this time. And he openly admitted it. So it's really a fucked situation at this point. And that's the whole thing about this, is that it all led up to this. And again, it is Christian's fault because he could have demonstrated self-control. It is his parents' fault for just spoiling him. Oh, here, buy shit. Buy this, buy shit. Chris never paid for his own PS3 or PS4 or whatever. Even the shit he broke, he never paid for that. His fucking parents did. So it's their fault. They did not properly acknowledge the fact that not only was he autistic, but there's something seriously wrong. There's also a self-righteousness to him, because if you look back at his story, he won some contest from Fox News about Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, and he's been entitled since then because he gained a few minutes of fame, I guess, as a child. And it's just so weird how just everything just sort of built upon him. Built and built and built. And with that said and done, it's just, oh man, it's all that. And then of course there's the trolls. Now, the trolls versus Chris, that's 50-50. Chris Chan is a prime example as of the number one rule out there. Do not feed the trolls. The only thing you ever do with the troll is you either completely ignore them or block them. Other than that, you don't fucking acknowledge them. Don't mention them. Don't talk about them. Nothing. And yeah, I've been victims to trolls in the past, but fuck. You know? Even I've learned that lesson. You don't acknowledge them. And at that point, girls were trying to say, oh, I'm in love with you and all that fucking shit. By that point, we all knew they were fucking with Chris. And it was just cruelty at that point, because they knew Chris Chan was this sort of nut job doing these antics, and they pushed it and egged on. There's some trolls that were pretty fucking cruel, like that little kid that told him to kill himself and shit. I mean, come the fuck on. They're to blame. Some of these trolls, like, they were just smug bullies. That's simple as it. And I think some of them need to be acknowledged that they're fucking pricks. Simple as that. But back on the other end, Chris Chan's to blame, because he did all this. And then you cannot blame the trolls for the GameStop incident, or for trying to run down the game store owner. I think that's what he did. Or drawing the comic where he executed 3 dudes or whatever brutally. And just a lot of the shit he's done, you can't blame down the trolls, because that's on his ass. And that shows just his descent. I think what we've seen is him going transgender, and I'm calling him him. Before someone goes, oh, it's a she. No, I don't acknowledge him because he's fucking insane. Chris Chan is fucking nuts. And that's the fact of the fucking matter. He is fucking crazy motherfucker. Okay? I'm not gonna say. Him turning into a tomgirl or whatever the fuck he's talking about shit is just a descent into madness. That's what Chris Chan is. We watched live on the internet as this mentally already ill individual who was maybe not even ill, but this guy who had real severe social issues and severely autistic descended into fucking madness. That's the tragedy of Chris Chan. But at the same time, you can't help but laugh at some of the shit he did. And that's the sadness of it. But it's also, at the point it is now, I don't feel sorry for the motherfucker. He's a fucking bitch. And what he did is unforgivable. Now, as we know, there's been a recent turn of events, and those recent turn of events has been the fact that he assaulted his mother, okay? And that's not right, dude. Come on. She's got dementia. Come on. Fuck. Sick. That's fucking sick. And then in the video, it's even more disturbing. I was gentle. What the fuck, man? Give me a fucking break. Dude, it's just one of those things where, I don't know. He's just a very, very fucked individual, and he is fucked. And now at the end, there's no one else to blame. Now, the person leaked it, I heard something about a cult or something, but I'm not sure about all that. But I'm glad they're keeping him in a male prison, because he will pose a danger to women he would probably get his ass kicked. I don't think it's hard to say in prison. I don't know if I don't know. But Chris Chan is a fucking mess. And I want to give my opinion is that, in closing, I want to note 2 things. Chris Chan is a lesson of a couple things. Something I've always said. Not everyone belongs on the internet to voice their opinion. I have said this fucking years. There should be a legislation or something, because a lot of idiots on there, and I don't just mean Chris Chan, there's a lot of fucking idiots that don't belong on the fucking internet because they don't know how to fucking handle it. So there's that. Not everyone belongs on the internet. Number 2, it's an awareness of mental illness. If you have a child who has mental illness on this severity, don't do that. Number 3, please don't use your autism as an excuse, because I have plenty of autistic friends who are cool as fuck and they don't act like this, okay? Okay, Chris Chan has deeper issues than that, and For fuck's sakes, man. Oh, dear Lord. So, all I gotta say, I'm done with this. This is probably the first and only time I'll ever talk about this cocksucker. But with that, guys, I'll come. You know what? There'll be something far more pleasant next time. But that, guys, Magus out.